I would say that he is, in the right direction big time. He's a Patriot legend. He left his mark there as a player.
Yeah.
He is well deserved for the job. He went to Ohio State. He was a whatever defensive coach there. An assistant in the NFL for a little bit, then became head coach with the Tennessee Titans and did an excellent job there. I still couldn't believe that he got fired from the Tennessee Titans. They've only gone downhill since he left, that program. Then he took that year off. And then to see him get hired by basically his alma mater in the NFL, the New England Patriots, it's special. It got the fans excited. It got the Kraft family excited as well. And so far, what they have done in free agency, they have done the right things, what they needed to do. They needed to go get some players. They needed to go get some guys that were, high caliber NFL players, high caliber NFL starters. And they sure did that. And now where they're at is that they just got to put it all together. They got the players now. They got to go out there and get on the same page, be consistent at practices, be consistent with the play calling, and just consistent with being competitive on a daily basis. And they can go out there and turn that program around in just a given year and possibly make the playoffs this year and do some damage. And Vrabel's a leader amongst men, from what I hear and from what I see, throughout his coaching career. So he's going to get them in the right direction, and he's going to lead them to where they need to go. And so they're competitive and they have a winning program.
Does even a part of you, Rob, when you see him back and get the warm welcome, does any part of you say, I have any interest in coaching, not necessarily being a head coach, but just being involved with an organization? Or is that like, hey, my life's too good right now, why do I want to put that stress on myself?
Hey, you just hit it right on the nose. My life is just way too good right now. I'm just not made for that coaching life. I've seen what they go through.
Yeah.
It's one of the most stressful jobs, I would
Yeah.
say, in America. It really is. I'm not down to coach 12 hours a day. I love the game of football, but you got to pick and choose what's right, with the game of football for you. And what I did with the game of football, where I'm at now as well, doing the Fox commentary, on Sundays. I think I'm involved in football, just the right amount. But coaching, just I wouldn't say is really for me in the NFL or college world, but I can see myself one day. Like I see my brothers coaching their kids. Mojo, I see you doing things with your kid. I can see myself coaching like one day when I have kids in my life, coaching like their teams, their
Little
football
Pop Warner,
programs,
like
and all
Coach
that.
Gronk, Pop Warner, maybe, or high school.
There you go. Even high school, I would be down for high school as well. But I'm down not just football as well, just coaching them in any sport.
Yeah, especially high school after you and your family just built out a brand new gym for your old high school. That was pretty cool to see right there. You talked about bringing the right pieces into New England. I got to ask you quick about Stephon Diggs, that clip of him training just 165 days after an ACL tear went viral. I mean, obviously, this guy is a physical specimen. How could he not be? He's a Maryland Terrapin like myself and your brother Dan, two other physical specimens, unlike your brother Chris, who's very weak and soft and puny, and that's why he left Maryland, because he wasn't jacked enough. But talk about, that's really the only reason I wanted to ask you this question, is so I could insult
There's actually
Chris,
no question.
talk about Stephon Diggs coming in to New England. I mean, that video is crazy. You've had that injury. What kind of impact does he make with your old team?
Oh man, it's kind of like he's on like a redemption tour, going to New England, which I think it's really good for the New England Patriots because they needed that number one wide receiver, and they needed that guy out there to make plays. I mean, they have a pretty solid tight end in Hunter Henry. Obviously, they got a great quarterback, but Drake May needed more support out there at the wide receiver position, and going to get Diggs was kind of like a lot of a give or take situation as well. I mean, he's coming off an ACL, injury. He's 31 years old, but just to see what he's already doing 5 months after that ACL surgery is just mind blowing. It's very impressive. He's basically running routes at full speed. I mean, I remember coming back from that injury, and I really didn't get to 100% until about 9, 10 months. And it looks like he's way ahead of the game. And it looks like I said, he's on a redemption tour because he's back in the division, where he played before with the Buffalo Bills. So he wants to make sure he's ready to go so he can do damage against his old team, and then also prove to everyone that he's worth it with that contract that he signed, and that he's still a baller, even though he's 31 years old and he's coming off of an ACL injury. So I'm excited to see what he does. And I can't lie, that progress that he has made since that surgery is phenomenal. And it's making me jump on board of being a Stephon Diggs fan, just to see that work he's putting in, because I appreciate people that put in that work.